What up, everybody out there in podcast land? Thank you for tuning in yet again to another episode of Ken Ross Present the Yeah I Said It podcast. We are expressing with our fullest capabilities to their might when it's in correctional facilities. Brainchild of my child, I am the dad half of this operation, Ross Cooper, as always, rocking with the best. My co-host, introduce yourself to the folk.
I'm grown. I ain't watching the throne. I'm sabotaging it. Yow, what's good, everybody? Everybody's having a good day, month, year, hour, second, all that good stuff. If you're watching on any of the other platforms, please share with your friends, family, enemies, dogs, pets, aliens, uh, all that. And if you're watching on YouTube, please share, like, comment, subscribe. Because if you don't, you're gonna be in a car accident. So if you don't want to be in a car accident, do what I said. Yeah.
So for those of you who can see, I'm rocking the hat with the black power fist. It's always appropriate. We about to be in Black History Month, which is interesting in and of itself. Everyone is Black History Month, but we were having a conversation off air about certain things that may or may not be deemed revolutionary. Um, Black love is revolutionary. Black unity is revolutionary. And apparently, we might have a couple of things that are up for debate on whether or not it's revolutionary, but we will get to that. Um, what we're going to set it off with, and this is an interesting conversation for anyone who's been paying attention. Um, and it's one of the issues, y'all. Some of y'all might not like my take on this. I'm gonna tell you ahead of time. Some of y'all might not like my take. If you a fan, a super fan of rap music, you probably might not like my take. If you are a fan of hip hop culture, though, and understand the suspension of common sense it takes to enjoy mainstream, I will say mainstream rap music, I think you might have to give what I'm saying some thought. But as I always say, I'm not looking for agreement, I'm looking for understanding. So, as always, if you have a different viewpoint of mine or his, feel free to comment in the sections and we'll see if we can understand each other. So, what am I referring to? No further ado. Jay Z, Meek Mill, along with Fat Joe, Big Sean, Yo Gotti, non rapper Kelly Rowland, rapper Killer Mike, which is shocking, Robin Thicke, and a few others are urging lawmakers in the glorious Empire State, New York, to pass a proposed rap music on trial bill. Now, I'll give you the shorthand. What this essentially is trying to do is prevent New York State prosecutors and such from using rap lyrics against rappers. So, in essence, if you say, you know, I'm the hardest N word alive and I got the chop under the seat and I blast them dudes on the corner, and it just so happens that a couple weeks ago, dudes was blasted on the corner with a chopper, prosecutors might come knocking at your door to find out just how true that is. Now, a lot of people, and I actually listened to a couple takes on this. I listened to Joe Budden's podcast. Shout out to Joe Budden, Ice Ish Parks, all of those guys. And I heard their conversation on it. And the issue I'm having with it is it sounds like a lot of people trying to have it both ways. Rap music is the only genre of music that puts its credibility card in your face every chance it gets. I'm the realest N word alive. I'm live in these streets. Blah blah blah. I move all this weight. I got a coke connect in Colombia, and it's all supposed to be believable. Ti tell you himself he was in the trap. Everybody sold drugs. So you're talking about crime. You're talking about crimes you committed. If the objective is to be without crime, without criminals, right? If you have a hint, because the other uncomfortable truth, and I'm gonna wrap this up so you can get your point in. The other uncomfortable truth here is this: most major cities have a less than 50% clearance rate when it comes to murder. Look at major cities: Baltimore, Detroit, Memphis, like a lot of these major cities, their murder clearance rate is under 50%. So you can make the argument that, look, if I smoke you, if I blast you, there's a 50% chance or greater than 50% chance I'm gonna get away with it. Because the cops just either lack of evidence, people ain't coming forward, ain't no clue, blah, blah, blah. So if I live in a city where murder is high, but the rate of catching murderers is low, and as a prosecutor, as a pig, you give me a clue as to who the murderer might be, guess what I'm gonna do? Come knocking at your door. And I'm like, if you don't want prosecutors and the rat police and all of that coming to your door, guess what you might want to do? Go to the school of black thought. But, sir, your thoughts, your opening statement, sir.
I'm starting to realize Boondocks is a real life thing. They had an episode. If you watch the Boondocks, they had an episode. I think about Gangstalicious. I can't remember. It was either Gangstalicious basically talking about murdering somebody or shooting somebody. It's just self-snitching on himself. And the cops came and arrested him. So this is very simple. They say on the show, if you don't want to just stop self-snitching, like what did Lil Wayne say? Real G's moving signs like lasagna, bro. Just okay, you could be all the things you talking about. You could move pounds, kilos away. Probably could have murked a couple people. But the thing is, if I was one of those people, you would never know. If I was the street nigga that was a rapper, I'll probably be in the Black Thought calls. I'll be like, yeah, I'm from this hood, blah, blah, blah. But you'll never know what the hell I did. You might think I was just there watching. So nah, like just I get it, the whole freedom of speech thing and all that. I get that part. But just you don't have to be specific naming names and street names or what you like. That's just stupid. That's just dumb. Stop self-snitching, bro. Stop it. But then again, on the flip side, it probably would be, if this law gets passed, it probably would be funny to see what type of souls come out. They ain't about to just start describing shit. It's gonna be so descriptive. Yeah, murder that nigga Lance. Fuck him. Like, yeah, that would be kind of funny. It messed up at the same time, but nah, I don't agree with Jay and all that. Like, just stop self-snitching, bro. Just move in silence. Like, you don't have nothing to prove that you're the hardest dude, right? Just don't self-snitch. Or if you are going to self-snitch, do it in a way that's like double entendres or something. It's so descriptive that you can't really, like, you're so lyrically talented at it that you can say that you did it without saying that you did. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
There's ways to do it.
Because I'm like, as much as we love Griselda, yeah, Benny and Conway will have some real problems if we start sniffing around. They would have some serious problems. Benny the Butcher and Conway the Machine would have some serious problems. But I'm just like, and then the other part about this is, so Jay and all these other folks, out of all of the things we need addressed, this is what you're spending time, having resources on. This is about as useless as Maya Angelou being on a quarter and Harriet Tubman being on a $20 bill. Like this so like at this point, that's not what we need. That's not what we need. Like, hey, we put Maya Angelou on the quarter. By the way, friends and neighbors, if you didn't know, Maya Angelou was going to be going on a quarter, and they told us a few years back that Harriet Tubman was going on a $20 bill. Now, the funny part about all of this is, A, we're actually literally running out of change. There are stores that don't have coins, and B, we barely use money. But at some point, Harriet's going to go on a $20 bill. At some point, there's going to be a Maya Angelou quarter. And I say that to say, like, out of all of the things Jay could be throwing his resources, influence, and power behind, fake rappers is not one of them. We say fake because here's the thing. Either you telling the truth and you tell it on yourself, or it's fake. And you can't have it both ways.
Yeah, you can't.
So,
but they do.
Like, so it's like we call the Black Thought example. Black Thought is from South Philly. South Philly can get a little rough from what I understand. Black Thought could be a drunk kingpin and we never know it because why? It's not in the music. It's just skills and bars in the music.
Yes.
God tier MC. So it's just skills and bars in the music. It's tons of dudes in rap, I think, that come from places that are questionable, that are drug ridden, that are impoverished, that are crime filled, but we don't hear about that in the music. And as someone that's been alive almost as long as hip hop has been in existence, I can tell you it's getting old. And that's not an intentional double entendre. It's getting old. We get it. You're from the hood. Pops wasn't around. You sold drugs. You bust guns. Blah blah blah. It's fair. We've been hearing this for 30 years now. It's what else you got? What else you got? And I can't even blame this on a New York bias because, as I just mentioned, Benny Conway. Like, what else you got? It's old hat.
Unless you
You
do it
know,
so massively like Pusha T.
it's still old hat. It's one note. Like, if we want unpopular opinion, and New York don't kill me for it, but as much as we love Jada, it's so much of his music is one note. So much of his music is drugs, weight, and crime. Like Styles P. If you took out the ridiculous levels of violence in Styles P lyrics, so much of that is just drugs. And I'm like, it's
See,
as
I think you can be grimy if you want to be grimy without necessarily snitching on yourself. Because, like you said, Black to the Black Thought thing, like you can tell he still has some grimy in him, but like you said, he's not describing what he did or any of that stuff. So
right.
if you want to be grimy, still have that grit, you can do that. You don't have to fucking tell everything that you've done or have did or in the past or about to do. It's that
Right.
simple. Talk about something else. I understand you want to say proud of my rhyme. This is all I know. I get you. But like,
Yawn.
bruh,
Yawn.
if you get put on like you a Benny Bush or a Pusha T or Jada, like you got some bread. You're not there anymore. You can talk about a new experiences. Unless you're MOP or something, then you probably is still there. But anybody else, like on that Jada and Pusha T and stuff, you got bread. You don't live there no more. You probably got a nice house with 401k and all that good shit. Talk about that. Talk
Right.
about making it out. Something different. Because
Right. Something like
we're not going to call you soft for that because clearly you whatever you did, you did. But you can broaden your experience because your experience have changed. You're not still
right.
the same person you was 10 years ago.
Are you
So,
listening, 50 Cent?
hmm?
Are you listening, 50 Cent? Because he another one.
But the thing is with 50, he, he does still rap like that.
Right. Like,
But
fam, you ain't in Queens on the block no more. You got like 5 different versions of Power on right now. Like,
Power, BMF, another like
right, like, bro,
you're
stop.
you're a showrunner empire right now. So it's like 50.
We don't believe you. You're not in the block in Queens anymore, sir. You're not in the block in Queens anymore.
But hey, I guess would you say you can be domestic but not domesticated? I guess that's what it is.
It's just, but and the other thing is that kills me because I've said this before, and I will extend it beyond rap music. It requires a level of suspension of common sense to enjoy mainstream black music in general. And hi, R&B, you are not immune either. The second we started singing about effing your bitches and all of this, like you lost me. Anita Baker would never. Patti LaBelle would never. But looking at you, SZA, I got him on the weekend. Like, so we already got an issue in the black community maintaining the nuclear family, and you gonna make music about how you got him on the weekend. And dudes ain't no whole bunch better. Because really, if we want to talk about cringy ass R&B, dudes are way more guilty. So it's like when we really pare it down and look at what we're being fed from our artists, who's enjoying that? Because when you start talking about that's why I don't when the second and I'm looking at the South because they the primary ones. So
What
you
you would
start
say?
talking about hip hop, well, they've been hot since so and so. They and so I don't know who I don't care what you sold because if we paid attention, we know who buying it. And it ain't us. So who you really entertaining? Are you absolutely doing the work of white supremacy for them? More often than not, yes. But that, we keep making this shit for everyone else's entertainment. But now it's like you just mentioned, stop telling yourself. Cats been knew Vlad was the ops. Cats been knew Vlad was probably the feds. They still going on Vlad TV. So what'd you do? I moved a little weight, round the way. Where was it? Oh, 125th and Park Street. Oh, who you with? And just start naming shit. Start naming like, bro, you literally probably talking to the feds. You talking to the ops right now.
It's funny. He must be hypnotizing people before they get on that. Because right? They just start singing, like just telling everything.
Like it's the last 10 minutes of first 48, boy. Like it's the
last 10 minutes. This is being recorded. This will be public knowledge. They can use that.
Clout chasing is a hell of a drug. Clout chasing is you figure you're gonna be on Vlad, it's gonna be everywhere. Let me talk about how real I am. The Fed's probably sitting back. Possession with intent to distribute, kingpin, weapons possession, felon in possession of a weapon. Like it's you just giving them charges. Just giving them charges. Did we talk about we need to make a t-shirt? Stop snitching on yourself.
Yeah.
You ain't gotta worry about nobody around the way snitching on you. Snitching on yourself.
Yeah.
That's just wild to me. But nah, I can't. I can't rock with you, Jay and Meek and all these other cats. Like, so it's still no clean water in Flint, probably, and y'all got time to worry about these fake ass rappers and not using their fake ass or maybe not fake ass lyrics against them when all you had to do is change what you rap about. The crack era was in the 80s, fam. It's not exciting no more. Like, especially when you can't tell, because Tekashi had us all fooled. Tekashi had everybody thinking he was like big time murder death killer.
Speak for yourself. He did not have me fooled. But go ahead. He had you fooled though.
I mean, and to quote Jay-Z, paraphrasing Jay, we words everything. So everything you said you do, you did it. Couldn't talk about it if you ain't live it. That's right off his track where I'm from. So it's the era I grew up in.
Yeah, but you don't know most of rappers now are fake. And it's not hard to just have like be well, especially with Tekashi. He was surrounded by real people like that. So yeah, like he couldn't just ask them what they did and just write about it. That's just the cover.
Even Joe Budden said it. Not a killer at all. I'm just surrounded by him. You know what I mean? So I'm like, it don't hurt to tell the truth, but Tekashi was out here. He was the hardest man alive, and whoa, look what happened. He wasn't the hardest man alive after all.
Yeah, the rainbow monkey. You're right.
Okay. Stop, y'all. But stop telling. So I figure, and again, I figure if you saying it, you did it.
Okay.
Where was everything? Because everything you said you do, you did it.
Okay, so look at Eminem's old lyrics. Talking about beating his mom and raping people. You think
okay.
Okay, then. So we know that
we talking street activity. We're not talking way out. I mean, Eminem's. My name is. That was just. It was equal parts genius and comedy, but we didn't actually think. 99% of my life I've been lied to. I just found out my mom does more drugs than I do. Like, okay, it was funny, but was that really was it real? We don't know, but that ain't nothing that's gonna get him in trouble with the law. He ain't out here telling on himself per se.
I wasn't talking about my names. I was talking about other songs.
Okay. But I just I can't. Like, Jay, you should know better. I just use your own, took your own bars and throw them back at you. And I'm just I'm sorry. If you want to tell on yourself, I'm gonna let you. I have no, if you want to put it out there that you're the hardest N-word alive, that you move all these weight, you got these coke connects and you got a whole arsenal of weaponry, and the feds come knocking at your door, ATF come knocking at your door, all you had to do was shut the hell up. That's all you had to do. Like I was watching an interview, Rakim, the God MC himself said he was in the streets. We never knew. We never knew. So unless you was down in LI, down in the boroughs, we never knew.
That's how it's
He
supposed to
just
be.
right, right. But now you know everybody a killer.
Either a killer or a drug addict, one or two.
Well, I mean, if you know, again, Southern rappers looking at you. If you want to sip the lean and take the Molly and Molly Percocet, that ain't illegal to my knowledge. I don't know.
Not illegal, but still a drug addict.
Oh, no doubt. You know, how did Kendrick say? I don't smoke crack. I don't smoke crack, motherfucker. I sell it. Yeah, that's our era. We don't
I mean, that's
endorse.
not better, but I mean, yeah.
Don't get high off your own supply, but yeah, it's just no. So to wrap that up, no, I'm not standing with you, Jane Meek. Like it's better things to lend our attention to, like defunding the police, or at least find another alternative. So and I told you, I'm tired of talking about it. I'm hopeful that as we do this, we won't have so much to talk about. But I'm reading an article from The Independent. At least 9 police officers in Tennessee were caught on camera opening fire on a 37-year-old man straight down part of the interstate highway in Nashville for hours yesterday, January 27th. Victim is identified as Landon Easton. Fatally shot by Metro Nashville PD. So dude was sitting on a guardrail. Sitting on a guardrail. Which odd. Not sure about illegal, but odd. So, dude, because we gotta play this now. We gotta play this game now and figure out, okay, was there a probable cause, so on and so forth. But dude was sitting on the guardrail. I find that a little odd too. I'm driving along and dude just sit on the guardrail. I'm like, you got it? Yeah, okay, nothing strange here. You good? Someone pulls out a box cutter. Okay. An off-duty cop comes to back him up. Like, you're not even on duty, fam. It's not even go home. Eat a sandwich or something. What? You're not even on duty. You just rolled up because you saw your brother in blue might need backup in full body armor and a taser, possibly, and a firearm against a person with a box cutter. Might want to stick around for backup. Woo boy. So they essentially negotiate. What I'm reading here, they tried to essentially negotiate him to surrender. Right. And based on the report and the video, he went to raise his. He never took his hand out of his pocket. Problem. At some point, he goes to raise his hand, and that's when 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 officers essentially execute him. To me, yet again, this screams mental health crisis. Clearly, if I'm taking a box cutter with me somewhere, I don't think I'm gonna go sit on a guardrail of the highway. And if I'm sitting on I'm sitting on a guardrail highway, I'm probably not thinking about, you know what, I'm having some issues. I'm going to sit on this guardrail. Let me go grab this box cutter real quick. So clearly, to me, and I by no means claim to be a licensed professional, there is a mental health issue happening here. I'm not sure how a guy with a box cutter warranted 9 officers shooting on him. I am questioning, okay, if you are close enough to see this as a box cutter and one hand in a pocket, why do you not tase him? I'd have to do a little homework and find out if Tennessee PD has, Nashville PD has tasers. But it just seems that the options were surrender or die, and there was nothing in between. Sir, your thoughts?
It does seem on the surface, but as you said, yeah, the box cutter was just no threat to 9 officers with guns. That's bringing a knife to a gunfight. So that's not really a
Literally.
threat. There was no hostage situation, so he didn't really have to do that either. So the only threat was that his hand was in his pocket the whole time. And when he pulled it out, he had something in his hand. So I guess they took the chance, was like, well, we not gonna find out what the hell it is, and we just gonna open fire. I mean, 9 people open firing, maybe one person can take a shot, you know, but 9 people open firing is not just overkill. It's like you're not coming back from that unless you're 50 Cent. But other than that, like,
That was really not. I mean, the Terminator. That's about it.
well, that too, yeah. But it just seems like overkill. Like you said, I don't know how far away they was, or if they had tasers. Like you said, taser would have been probably the first option. Like get a little closer, surround them while still talking, and just taser him. If you were so worried about what was in his right side of his pocket, but it wouldn't have. Whatever he had in the right hand, he said, unless he John Wick or something, it wouldn't have took all y'all out. But
Now
I
looking at the
mean,
video, he did, end up reaching and kind of point something, and I get it.
all right,
But my question is, so nobody had a taser?
they
So
might not.
nobody, no, like I'm just thinking, we're using all of these resources as is, right? You got 9. It's a gang of officers there. We watched the video. Why do you not call in SWAT? Why do you not call in the people with the body armor?
That would
And
have been the
again,
same result.
it just seems like the options were surrender or die, and there were no in betweens.
I
And
mean, you
I
call
don't,
this. Go ahead.
I don't necessarily know. And here's the other thing: they spent a good chunk of time negotiating with them. Who wants to negotiate with police? You a threat in and of it. Like police aren't negotiators per se. I get it; they can be, but that's already off-putting. Like who's ever heard from an officer? If you didn't do anything, you got nothing to worry about, and believed it. Nobody ever in the history of Neverland. Like police negotiating. This is why didn't we bring in someone completely unarmed, someone who's not a cop, talk this guy off the ledge? It just, like I said, it just seems like the options were surrender or die.
Well, because you still don't know, to play devil, you still don't know what was in his pocket. So if you bring someone else who's unarmed, you could technically have a hostage situation.
It's just that. Well, I mean, they ain't gonna walk up on him and give him a hug. I'm just saying you have a non-threatening person in the mix of all this. And while this non-threatening person is talking to this person, you can easily creep around and, oh, look who here, found a taser. It just seems like
You
like I
could.
said, looking at the video, it just seems like the options were surrender or die, and there was nothing in between.
Oh, people are gonna say he shouldn't have his hand in his pocket, being suspicious.
Oh, wait, whoa. This part is important. This part is important. No, by all, from what I can tell, Sir was not black. So this is not a case of white cops killing black guy. This case of cops seemingly executing guy that's not black. So
Yeah.
before we say y'all just talking about the same, no. Again, if you only do a cursory, if you only pay attention to our podcast cursory in a cursory fashion, you're gonna think we hate cops. We hate cops because cops kill black people. No. We hate cops because they're fucking cops. So let me be very clear. This is not primarily a racial issue. The statistics make it that way. Our issue lies with cops' very existence. If you paid attention, in the last rant my co-host, who also my son, gave, it's a fatally flawed system, and cops are literally descendants of slave catchers. Until that little detail changes, and since you cannot change that little detail, you'll throw the whole thing away and just start over. But yeah, I just want to clear that up. This is not a case of they murdered a black man. Because honestly, the sad reality of it is how the media circle works. Sir, if this was a case of unarmed black man killed, we'd know about it like all over the place.
Yeah, I didn't know nothing about it until he's in it.
Yeah, we know it about all over the place.
So
But
yeah, I mean they gotta push the narrative and keep us divided and thinking it's just a white and black thing, which is not the case, like you just said. And like you said, we don't have an issue with white cops or black cops, or we have an issue with anyone wearing blue.
boom.
Besides the Crips, we ain't got no problem with y'all. But I'm saying, in terms of law enforcement,
Right,
yes.
right,
So yeah, like nah, it doesn't surprise me, man.
right. It's I
It's a power thing, and like I said, it's a power thing. It's the system thing, as I said on the last show, and it's the foundation. And to me, like I said, we're just putting bandages on flesh wounds, and that's not going to solve anything. We need stitches. We need to actually fix the problem.
right.
And to fix the problem is to fix the foundation and destroy that shit. Because it's like you said, and I said in the last episode, they are descendants of slave catchers. They are hunters. They're not trying to negotiate anything. They're not necessarily trying to keep you safe, trying to meet quotas and hunt.
Right.
And where to pray. And then it don't really matter what you look like. I know for the most part, statistically, they mostly look like me and you. But it can be anybody. It's just
Right.
underreported.
Right.
So
Anyone.
so yeah, that's our issue.
So we'll see how this pans out. We'll see if these officers are punished in any way, shape, or form. But I'm gonna guess we got the whole fear for my life thing, which seems to be the blanket statement of all things. And like I said, I'm not justifying the actions of Mr. Easton. I am saying that I'm also not justifying the actions of the pigs. It just seemed, based on what I've seen, it just seemed like it was surrender or die, and there was no in between. As this continues, we'll find out more facts, and if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But based on the video footage that's been put out, yeah, there's that. But all right, we'll shift gears a little bit because this is the topic du jour. Um, it seems like every week something crazy happens in regards to this pandemic, and I come across things like, nah, there's no way. But got to go back to, for those of you to remember, Wayne's World. Yes, way. So apparently, there's a man that was up for a heart transplant. And if you know anything about the transplant list, a heart transplant is probably harder to get than a damn kidney. You get two kidneys, you get one heart, and you kind of require someone to die in order for you to get a heart. Like, let's be all the way real, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, DJ from, I'm taking this right off the New York Times. Individual's name is DJ Ferguson. His family said he was on first on the list to receive a heart transplant at Brigham and Women's Hospital, but he is no longer eligible because of his vaccination status. Um, he's gone through emergency surgery to be fitted with a mechanical heart pump. Based on what I'm reading, that will keep him alive, ideally about 5 years. But you've pretty much been told, barring a different kind of medical miracle, you now have at max 5 years to live. Give it a quote for a foreseeable future. He won't be able to shower. He won't be able to swim. He won't be able to have a life. This is a statement from his father. Even despite the surgery, still needs a transplant due to his rapid deterioration. So he's been given a heart pump, but sounds like that's the quality of life is going to suck. He's got two kids. His partner is expecting a third. But so you got two kids already. You're expecting a third. And because you refuse to get this vaccine, they're saying that you can't have a heart. So let me see. Based again, read through the article. It's kind of against the basic principles. He doesn't believe in it. It's a policy they are enforcing, and so because he won't get it, they took him off the heart transplant. Took him off the list for heart transplant. And he said he does not oppose vaccines in general. He just worries that getting this one will complicate his heart condition.
Yeah, about that. But go ahead. I'll wait till it's my turn.
Okay. The hospital, which is a Harvard teacher, said research has shown transplant recipients were at a much higher risk of dying from COVID as opposed to non-transplant patients. So basically, if you get our transplant, you were much more likely to die from COVID. Now, again, that requires, I'm presuming, some serious research. Um, if there was ever a situation that I would actually get it, it's that one. Now, I do get the worry, but here's the thing. You get the jab, you might have complications, you might live to be 80. We don't know. You don't get the transplant, you're going to die. This we do know. You have two kids, one on the way. I understand standing on your principles, but as a parent, I can tell you when you become a parent, your life is not exactly your own. You do things with the best interests of your children in mind. So you picked a hell of a time to stand on some principles. And I respect you for it. I don't think I could have made the same choice. All right, sir, your thoughts.
Okay. If I was see his circumstances, like you said, is very specific. Like I said, you have a girlfriend or wife, but you have two kids and you have one on the way. So if I was in his shoes and I had two kids, one on the way, and all I had to do was to get the jab to possibly survive, because that's not guaranteed from a transplant, and it's not. Well, I'm gonna get into the other stuff, but I'll probably do it. Just like I said, I understand you stand on your stance and you don't want to be forced to do something. That is kind of revolutionary, right? But like you just said, so I don't have kids, but if I did, there was nothing in the world that I wouldn't do for them. And something like that, even going against something like that, I would take the jab. Just even if I have a chance of living and watching them grow up and being in their life. So yes, I agree with you. If I was in that situation, I'd probably take it. But if I was in the situation I am now, with no kids, no wife, probably wouldn't. But and
So
here's another reason why. I'll let you get to go. I got before I forget. So I'm gonna freaking forget. Um, it's no guarantee that you will survive the transplant itself. He said that he was worried about the jab giving him heart problems, and it's funny you mentioned that because I sent you a video. I think it leared a couple weeks ago or a couple days ago. I don't remember. Do you remember what video I sent you about all these athletes mysteriously dropping dead out of nowhere and they're vaccinated, having
yeah,
heart?
was that real? Like that's the thing.
That's
I was like, I
real.
didn't get a chance to. That's
That's
real. Okay.
real. So, and it's very underreported. It's like, these are athletes who are, for the most part, everywhere else. Like in this country, you kind of have a choice, but you don't to be vaccinated playing professional sports or whatever, or playing sports. But everywhere else is kind of like required. And most of the people that I've seen that have collapsed during practice, a game, whatever, on the field or court or wherever, they were healthy, had no prior heart problems, nothing. Just collapsed and died. Well, some of them died, not all of them died, but some of them died, just had cardiac arrest out of nowhere. And I don't know how that's being underreported. Like, um, there could be. I'm not saying it is for everybody. Maybe it's just a one-off thing. But
Mhm.
you know, healthy people who are athletes, so they're to be a top of your game, you watching what you eat, you staying in quote unquote shape, right? And just out of nowhere, just split second, you just collapse and die from a heart problem after you took the jab. Is that not a little fishy to you? And so, and that's being severely underreported. You would think, and there's been a good number of them, not just one or two people. It's a whole freaking compilation of people just collapsed out of nowhere. and no one just seems to know where is this coming from.
I mean,
But
but
we all know that they're vaccinated.
the numbers though, the problem we're gonna have here is, listen, if it's 10,000 people, but there's almost over 500,000, you see where I'm going, and that's the
I
thing with
get
this.
like if you want to play a
You see
numbers
what I'm
game,
saying?
cool. Because I can play the numbers game
If
too.
it's 10,000 out of 500 million, that's nothing. Now,
That's
that is not to
nothing.
discount, because it's nothing unless you one of them 10,000,
I'm
right?
about to say
If you one of them
because
10,000, success.
you were told that this would protect you and nothing will happen from it, and then you just collapse and die out of nowhere, and it wasn't even because of COVID. It's because of something you put in your body being told
Not to,
something that didn't happen. To
I mean,
protect
not to be
yourself from
an,
something, if you want to play a numbers game, rest in peace to those who passed away. That's a 98% survival rate. And now
not to
I'm
be
dead.
not to be an ass, but the vaccine, it's designed to what? Keep you from dying a horrible, miserable death
So
from COVID.
collapsing from cardiac arrest, not a miserable, horrible death.
The vaccine did its job. You did not die a horrible, horrible death from COVID.
You didn't die from COVID, but you died from the actual shot himself.
Good luck proving it. I'm just saying, like I said, the inherent issue with the
I'm just
questions
saying.
we're raising, with
I'm
the
just
inherent
saying.
issue with
And
the questions we're raising is,
and the
Denzel told us in
all right,
training day, it's
forget
not what
everybody
you
else.
know, it's what you can prove.
Forget
Can you
everyone
prove
else
it?
and all the athletes that passed away from this. For his sake, I brought that up for his personal case. He said something about being worried about having heart problems. If I just named you people that just had heart problems out of fucking nowhere and they were already healthy, so how does that help him? He can still die. So you got a new heart, which is already can be troubling enough.
Oh yeah, your new
Your
heart
body
is,
can reject it and assessing. So that's not even 100% that you'll survive from that. So if you get past that, and it's not being reported that this jab can give you heart problems, because I've seen other people saying their heart accelerated after they got. I've seen stuff that people say some side effects that aren't good, not necessarily killing you, but that's giving your heart problems. And if he has a heart condition already with a new heart, why the hell would I take a jab that can fuck it up even worse or kill me the same way?
because if you don't, right now he's got a 5 year, like he's got a 5 year lifespan. And if you want to talk quality of life, it might be less than that. That's why.
But it's basically saying what I'm trying to make is he might be dead anyway, whatever decision he makes.
Um, I mean, but TV timeout, if we expand that a little bit, truth be told, that's the case in all of this. It's a matter of which gamble you want to take. We're taking the gamble of we're not going to catch this thing. And even if we do, we're going to be okay. There are people who are not willing to, at the end of the day, there are people not willing to take that gamble. They're willing to take whatever minute side effects there are from the jab to avoid the horrible, painful death that we've been told can
But
result
there's the
from the
other
pandemic.
gamble. He might not catch it. So why should it be required that I take it if I might not even catch it at all?
Let me help you. This is a direct statement from the hospital. Our Mass General Brigham healthcare system requires several CDC recommended vaccines, including the jab and lifestyle behaviors for transplant candidates to create both the best chance for a successful operation and to optimize the patient's survival after transplantation, given that their immune system is drastically suppressed. So here's the thing: it ain't just that one. We in reading that statement, what you catch? They recommend all CDC vaccines, including this one. So it's not just, oh, he wouldn't take this one. It's a lot of vaccines you got to take apparently in order to get this. And it's a lifestyle change. Because like I said, a heart is harder to get than a kidney.
Yeah.
You got folks out here with you got two kidneys no matter what. We can all donate a kidney and be cool, right?
Yeah.
You got one heart. And you need somebody to die. And you need to be on the donor list. And of course, you need to be a match. So a heart transplant, bro, to get on the top of that list, yeah. And you sit at the top of that list with, I'm guessing, impending doom and you gonna pick now to stand on certain. I'm sorry, I couldn't take the gamble. I couldn't take the gamble because you're right. Everything you're saying could be true. You may not get it. Why should you have to take it? Because in order to get this, you got to get a host of vaccines, including this one.
Okay, but
and you got to make sure you live healthy.
The RO didn't say specifically they weren't willing to take any vaccines. Because
he said not this.
He said not that one. So clearly he's more concerned about the one we're talking about, not the other stuff. Because I'm pretty sure if it was just the other stuff, he wouldn't care. He's worried about shit that was made in the lab for like 6 months. Okay.
So option B is you don't get a heart, you get kicked off the list. You have this thing pumping
and you
your
die.
Heart
option B is
you die. A max 5 years.
You die. You're dead. Because those 5 years you're not really living. You're basically a fucking vegetable. So no, I get it. The option is death, or the option is possible death with a chance of seeing your kids. I said I agree with you. For the kids part, I would probably do it. Actually, not probably. I would do it.
So let's make it.
I'm just saying, devil's advocate. Like he shouldn't be put with that choice. They shouldn't make him have that fucking choice.
Okay, so let's. I mean, it's the CDC, and if this hospital is
CDC, don't know what the fuck they talking about. I see some shit that the CDC was looking at Google during the press conference about COVID. They don't know what the fuck's going on. Because every time the CDC says something new out there about, they don't know. They're playing it by ear like the same way we are. Unless they're behind the shit and they actually know what's going on. They just feeding us bullshit. That's a whole nother story. But
now you are falling down the conspiracy theory.
I'm saying that's a whole nother story. I'm not saying that's true. I'm just saying if I'm just going to go by that they do know what's going on, they changed their tune, they moved the goalposts a lot. So it seems like they're adapting to the new situation. So they're not fully sure what's going to happen. That's all I'm saying.
I'm just saying, like, I'm not going to sit there and say the CDC doesn't know what they're talking about. I'm going to say there's a lot of information out there, and you got to pick and choose what you believe is true, because you can rationalize all of it. You got to pick and choose what you believe is true.
That's a problem.
Right. I mean, in this instance, I respect his choice. And I don't necessarily know if I feel the same as you, and we could put this in the category as being revolutionary, but I respect his choice.
I mean, why not?
I couldn't make the choice.
He's dying for something he believes in, and not just that, because some people die from stupid shit. But
being revolutionary,
we're being forced to take this shit. And then we're being segregated at because there's some other stuff that we're probably going to talk about in the next couple of episodes. But we're being segregated at the same time. Being segregated and forced. That's fucked up. So, I mean, if this is the ground he chooses to literally die on to get a point across, I salute him. That is kind of revolutionary. By definition, I wouldn't do it.
It's going against the reason I can't necessarily put an act standpoint, because is his sacrifice on par with a Fred Hampton.
Is his sacrifice? That it's on that par. See, there's different types of revolutionary type things and different type of revolutionaries. Everything is not the same. So,
well, I mean, I can't call it revolutionary because we toss, and then this is being very real. We toss around the notion of we're being forced. You're not. You don't have to work for a company with more than 100 people. By the way, the Supreme Court shot that down. But you don't have to work for a company with more than 100 people. You don't have to visit another country that has a vaccine mandate. So if you don't have to eat.
You don't have to work. You don't have to eat. You don't have to you don't have to pay child support. You don't have to do a lot of shit. But you do. You see the whole thing, that choice, like freedom of choice is illusion or whatever the hell it is. You're not putting a gun to my head and telling me you do this now or you die. But if you're strong-hearted me and then there's a huge consequence, or you're restricting me from doing something that I want to do, then you're kind of forcing my hand without forcing me. So it was like, yeah, you are. You're disguising as you have freedom of choice. You have freedom. This is a free country. You can say what you want. No, you can't. You can't say that though. But you can say what you want. You can do what you want. I can't do that though.
I
But
mean,
you can do
classic
what you want.
example. I just went to New Orleans a couple weeks ago, and went to eat at a restaurant, and they were like, "Okay, since I couldn't produce a vaccination card, we had to sit at a different part of the restaurant." Now, the irony of that is the part of the restaurant was over. It was at, like near the balcony, overlooking a view, and people who actually were jabbed got crammed downstairs. Like, actually, it worked out to the good, but I could have chose not to eat there. I don't have to eat there. There are options. There are very now that mandate for 100 people or more for your company. The Supreme Court shot that down. I personally believe rightfully so. Like, that is literally forcing people to do something, right? But for us to this, you actually do have options. I'm not going to deny what you're saying. It is making things difficult.
For no
You
reason.
know, the, for good reason.
What reason?
Like I said, you don't be one of those people, and I'm not saying you are, but let's be very cautious on being those people who can't see the other side, because on its surface it makes perfect sense. You got to go a couple layers deep before this starts falling apart, but on its surface it makes perfect sense. um you could spread this, someone could catch it and die.
You can do the
It's
same
a
thing.
very it's,
You can do the same thing. And it's proven that you can do the same thing from personal experience. That if you're jabbed, you can catch it and spread it. And that's like I have legit personal experience with that.
as do I.
So that goes out the window. So what's your next excuse? Come on, give it to me. We can
No,
have a
I
whole
mean,
show, leave the bug and everything. Come on, let's go. Come on. I
no, we're
got
not gonna
time
do that.
today. I got
We're not
time
gonna do
today.
that. We're not gonna do that.
I
I'm
got
just
time
saying.
today. Let's go. I'm not even an anti-vaxxer. I don't give a fuck about none of this shit. I promise you, I don't. I don't care if you take it or not take it. We've been real consistent. I'm just saying the part that pisses me off is the forcing part. And then the fucking Agent Smiths doing the fucking job with the fucking Matrix and forcing and looking down on people who don't take the shit because they don't agree with you. Like, come on, man. Stop it. We got more. We got bigger fish to fry and things to fight.
We
Tired of
do,
fighting, being divided
allegedly.
over this damn jab or not. It's
We
not
got
doing
800.
anything.
We got 800,000 dead Americans, sir. You want to say that to one of their families? Let's make it real.
Rest in peace to you. But what do you just say? Not to be foul, but let's play a numbers game. 800,000 to hundreds of millions. 2%.
I
And that's
mean,
the world, actually. 2%.
we don't know how
So,
many lives. We can't quantify just how
and
many lives
we can't
have been
quantify
saved because of this vaccine, can we?
we can't quantify who's actually died actually because of COVID or because of something else. We're not sure about that either. And
It gets
so
dicey real quick.
it goes back to what do you choose to believe, sir, or ma'am, or cat or dog, whoever's watching.
I gotta bring
Like
cats in this, but
we
all
love
right.
cats.
So this is how we'll put the pin in this, and this is where this also gets interesting, because now a lot of people have believed there's a money play behind all of this. That there are somewhere behind all of this, there's some dollars and cents, right? This
Probably.
became, at least to me, really apparent when Kyrie Irving was allowed to play. So Kyrie was like, "Nah, I'm not with the shits." Cool. You can't play it. You know you can't play home games, right? I know. I know. I'm not with the shits though. Actually, you know what, dog? Since you're not with the shits, you're not gonna be with any of the shits. We're gonna sit you all the way down.
Cool.
Because you can't play it all if you ain't fully vaxxed. I bet.
I understand.
Kyrie sat it all the way down, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's a team with two other Hall of Famers. So one less Hall of Famer, that just means you win in 7 instead of 4 in the series. Funny thing happened though. Hall of
Mm-hmm.
Famers get hurt. Hall of
Mm-hmm.
Famers get hurt. Lead in the Eastern Conference starts slipping.
And hold up, glad you continue. The part of that you didn't say, that whole team caught COVID. Half of them were out because of COVID, and all of them are vaccinated. Go ahead,
Right.
keep
And
going.
and and then Kyrie gets to have a Thanos moment. You could not live with your own failure.
So what that
And look where
bring?
that brought you.
Back to me.
Back to me.
He should have posted that clip on his Instagram, bro. Oh, that would have been so crazy. Oh,
and it's just,
oh.
and it's just like, yo. So you bring him back, like, you know what, dog? Upon further review, you can play the road games. You can play the road games. So here's the thing, though. Here's the thing about how kind of bullshit this NBA policy is. Apparently, how it works is if a player that is not fully vaxxed plays, the first fine is, I do believe, $1,000. The next fine is $3,000. The next fine is $5,000. Now, if you count along, you would say it would keep going up $2,000. No, every fine after that is $5,000. They did the math on ESPN. If the Nets make the playoffs and they get the 1 seed, and he in every series goes to 7, and the Nets are at home, it is a whopping $68,000 of a fine. $68,000. I suspect Kyrie has that in his couch cushions. I suspect the owner of the Nets, the Russian billionaire, probably has that in his wallet right now. Just like 68,000. So my question, here's where this gets fun. If the Nets said, F it, we playing Kyrie for a time, we're going to take the fine. You as a fan, I'm asking you now, not hypothetically, but you as a fan, you good with that?
I'm a fan of Kyrie before he did this thing. So, of course.
Really? If
I was a Nets fan, I'd be happy. You want to know why? Because if those three are healthy, it's a title. Okay. So $68,000 title. Most people owners would pay that.
$68,000 title, possible blood on your hands. Still worth it?
Where's the blood?
You now have an unvaxxed player on your team, sir, playing.
He was already playing.
What if he touches the Gatorade bottle?
He's already playing.
On the road. These are not your fans. These are not your fans.
Oh, so now we don't care about them, man?
No. We're talking from a Nets perspective. We have the rules in place to keep you from killing people in Brooklyn.
But you can kill people in other states.
We have the rules in place to keep you from killing people in Brooklyn.
So you're not answering that question. So he can touch shit in other stadiums and shake hands and all that.
That is an NBA rule. That is a Adam Silver problem. That is not a Nets problem. That is an Adam Silver problem. That is a
it's
national
only a
issue.
Nets problem because of the state of New York.
Bingo. So the question is, if just play with me here, Kyrie touches the Gatorade bottle from the equipment guy. The equipment guy is a little sloppy, leaves the Gatorade bottle on the scorer's table. Some kid touches the Gatorade bottle on the scorer's table, goes home, gives it to grandma. Grandma dies. Kyrie,
they had to be vaccinated too. Everyone in there is vaccinated except him. So if you believe in the vaccine
and everyone and all that, the experts are saying vaccine this is a pandemic of the unvaccinated.
The vaccine will do its job and it won't spread. They won't catch it, or B, if they do catch it, they won't spread it. So we won't have that problem because the vaccine is doing its job. Remember that.
Or your unvaccinated ass could stay off the court.
You could, but that's a Nets problem. That's not Kyrie.
So I go back to, if you are owner of the Nets, you willing to take that risk? You willing to pay $68,000 and have blood on your hands? You willing to do that?
Bruh.
Are you willing to do that?
A championship?
You gonna run it back next year. And you have the same 3 Hall of Famers back next year.
Yeah, but unless New York changes its laws, it's still going to be the same problem. Unless you trade him. So basically, if you're the Nets, if you're so worried about safety, then trade his ass. The problem's solved.
I love you. I love you got your tap shoes on. Yay or nay? You want to pay the $68,000, let him play or not?
I said I ain't tapped nothing. I said from the beginning, yes. The fuck?
So you willing to pay $68,000 and have blood on your hands? All right.
There's no blood, and you can't prove it.
Contact tracing, sir.
Shit, you can't contact trace all the way back to somebody's home. You can do that for the team, but you can't do that for their fans.
Easy. I just told you an example.
You don't know
Kyrie
that. He could have caught that from anybody. No. He could have caught that from anybody. You could have caught that from anybody. You don't know where the fuck it came from. They're not part of the team where they're being traced and wearing fucking wristbands and shit. You don't know what the kid could have went to the store and touched something. It's a kid. They're dirty anyway. They probably touching all types of shit.
So basically,
let's be real. Like, stop.
Basically, you were the sacrifice man's life.
You just doing these worst case doomsday scenarios and shit. Oh, Kyrie touches the cup. The kid touches it, goes home, smacks his grandmother on the face, and then she dies. Like, come on, bro. Like, stop it. Stop. You don't even believe
this is the world we live in. This is why they tell you to get the job. This is why. Because just because you're good, grandma might not be good. Someone with a compromised immune system might not be good.
But
so basically, a title is worth $68,000 and risk lives to
they
you.
Will what be saying, good. Sir. You want to know why? Everyone in that stadium is vaccinated, except for Kyrie. So if the vaccine does its job that you say is truth, that everyone fucking believes, then nothing will happen. Because what do vaccinated people say? Well, what do vaccinated people say? It's all you unvaccinated people's fucking fault. If everyone was vaccinated, we would not be in this mess. So everyone in that stadium is vaccinated except for one person. So if the vaccine does what it's supposed to do, nothing will come to it. It won't even get to grandma because it might not even get to you because your percentages are way higher. And then when you do catch it from personal experience, I've been around someone who was vaccinated that had it, but didn't give it to me. So I guess you can say the vaccine did its job. It didn't spread.
So what if grandma's not vaccinated? And what?
I just said the kid's vaccinated. He has to be in the stadium, right? So how would the vaccine is supposed to not help you spread it. So it won't go to grandma. Grandma won't have to worry about nothing.
So you go with the risk.
What risk? The vaccine. We're talking about the vaccine, bro. What are you talking about?
So
there's no risk. There is no risk. This is what we've been told. There is no risk. We're good.
I'll tell you what, I'm not doing it. Okay. I'm not doing it.
That's you.
I'm not doing it. I have a conscience, sir. I want blood on my hands, sir.
Conscience.
I'm not doing it.
Wait. Are you vaccinated?
No.
Oh, wait. Why not? You have a conscience.
I'm not around people.
You're selfish. What?
Hold on.
Okay. So don't grow a conscience now. I have a no. Hold on. And like you,
nice try, sir.
Yeah. Tap dance. Look at you. Tap dance. So, boom.
I said if I was the owner of the Nets, I'm not taking a chance. Kyrie's going to play road games only. I'm not running the risk of.
You'll be forced to take it anyway.
If you're the owner of Nets, you ain't got to do shit. You're the owner.
Okay.
Come on, dog. Come on. Like, don't do that. Come on, dog. These talking about employees. I'm not an employee. I'm the damn owner. You don't run shit here. I run shit here. Denzel voice, trading day.
Yeah, New York.
Like,
you see what happened to Denzel. His ass got lit up. So, yeah.
No, you stupid, B. Stupid, B. Nah, but I'm saying though, like, I'm not taking a chance. Because then you got to understand you open yourself up to lawsuit even beyond that. Because of contact tracing. Because it's going to take one person to say, Kyrie touched the water bottle, the trainer touched the water bottle, my son touched the water bottle, he brought the shit home, grandma dead.
Okay, guess what?
I'm suing you.
Wait, guess what? You can't sue me. You wanna know why? Don't go to the game. No one's forcing you to go.
I'm supposed to be protected. You're violating the law
if
by
you really,
letting him play.
I'm gonna use your own argument against you. If you really want to be protected, you're so fucking scared. Stay home. There's a TV. You can watch the game on TV. You'll be perfectly safe. I promise you. You don't have to go with other people and be around other. You can be at home sitting under the fucking covers, making a fucking pillow fort, watching TV. I don't care. You don't have to step outside. So stop talking about this. You're supposed to protect me. Protect yourself, motherfucker. This is a free country, right? You have the freedom to protect yourself. So protect yourself. Don't go. If you know that he's unvaccinated and you know that the Nets are going to let him play at home, don't go. For your safety, for grandma's safety, for your pet's safety, for America's safety, motherfuckers. Yeah. Problem solved.
I cannot, yo. All right, so let's run it back and recap. You a wild dude. Okay.
This is funny because he don't believe anything he's saying, so that's why this is mind blowing. That's why he's laughing. Because he's just saying this shit to play the whole quote devil's advocate. But I promise you, as soon as we get off, he's gonna start laughing. Like, I don't believe that shit. Go ahead.
No, I don't know. Like, no, I'm saying like for real though. Nah, if I'm the owner, I wouldn't. All nonsense aside, dead ass. If I was the owner, I wouldn't do it because it's just opening yourself up way too much. It's way too much, and I don't even want to think about okay, what if? Because the thing is, if it goes wrong, it's gonna go way wrong. Certain shit just ain't worth the reward ain't worth the risk.
Didn't trade him.
Okay, so I get a title, but two of my fans are dead. You see what I'm saying? Like, nah, I can't have it on my conscience. Not even a little bit, not even a maybe. Not even a maybe. So it's 68 grand. I can sneeze 68 grand. Something's bigger than money. Something's bigger than money. And the fact that this can even happen, nah, I'm good. I'm good. Bruh. And it's probably this big of a chance. It's probably this big of a chance. Bruh. But it's a chance.
People, this is where, people like talent outweighs anything. And for a championship, owners know this. They don't care. Look, like you brought example, the Michael Vick thing, they didn't care. They had murderers, rapists, all this on the team still and not care. As long as it can help them win. So no one cares about the damn fans' opinion. They just want to win.
You don't have fans. You don't sell tickets. You don't sell tickets. Your franchise is broke.
People are still going to go. So you think? So you really think
10,000 people is not going? 10,000 people is not going to be enough to pay Barclays light bill. 10,000 fans in the stands ain't going to do shit for the Bills. It ain't. So you cannot alienate your fan base. Like you said, like I talked about, we talked about Mike Vick off air. You know how many protests there were outside of Philly Stadium when they brought him in?
And
you know how many protests when
they started winning, what happened?
Still protested every road game.
Fans were still there. Fans were still there. It wasn't an empty stadium. People still watching on TV, which is where majority of their money comes from. So
I'm not.
Like I said, like fans be upset about a lot of shit. But the second they start winning, they don't give a fuck. The owner damn sure don't care about fan stuff.
I mean, you don't put butts in seats. You don't sell tickets.
It's Kyrie. It's Kyrie. He's gonna put butts in the seats no matter what, because he's just that fucking good at what he does. And
he ain't.
You want your team to win a title, right?
Okay. He's not bigger than 800,000 dead Americans, sir. Oh my God! I'm just saying.
Keep bringing that number.
He's not bigger than 800,000.
When everyone in that stadium is vaccinated. So if you choose to believe what everything we're being told is true, then nothing will happen. You gotta pick a side, buddy. Do you believe in the vaccine? How about answer that?
No, I believe in. This is gonna sound cruddy, but I believe in staying out of court. I believe that if I am wealthy, you do certain things to remain wealthy, and one of those things you do to remain wealthy is not open yourself up to risk.
And the fact you can't trace it back to him.
You want to go to court to find out? That's the thing. You want to go to court to find out?
He's a billionaire, so you really ain't gonna lose. Come
on. Okay.
Right. Like let's
you want to be forever be known as the franchise that brought an unvaccinated player back and somebody died because of it? Think of that headline.
That's a
Think
what
of that
if.
headline.
That's a big what if. And that would mean that you don't trust the vaccine.
No,
So
that
which
means I
one
got
is it?
two.
You
I
can't have
got two
both
Hall of
ways.
Fame.
You can't have both ways.
I got two Hall of Famers on my team. I can do it on a third one. I can still win.
No, you can't. You're not winning without Kyrie. But that's a whole nother stuff. But go ahead.
Okay. All right. Okay. So you with it? I'm not with it. Okay. Cool. All right. So let's run it back.
60,000, baby. That's chump change. I
60,
fart that.
68,000. But okay. So
I fart that.
running back. Jay-Z, Meek, and the rest of y'all chill. Just chill. We got better stuff to do with our time and our resources. Just chill. Just chill. To the cops in Tennessee, Nashville, it just prove me wrong. That's all I'm asking. Prove me wrong. Because right now it looks like surrender or die. And I don't see a whole bunch of wiggle room in between. So hopefully this comes out that wasn't the case. So I'm hoping I'm wrong on this one and you're justified in your actions. Because otherwise it really looks real dangerously close to an execution. To sir in Boston, I respect your decision even more because I couldn't have made it. Do I think it's quote unquote fair? I don't know. Fair is subjective. It depends. Two words I don't use are fair and deserve because you will never find someone to agree on what you deserve and what's fair to you. So is this fair? Probably not. I hope something gives and you don't actually die in 5 years and you can somehow live a happy and healthy life for your kids' sake. But that was one hell of a decision to make. I couldn't have made it. And last but not least, yeah, I love Kyrie. But if I'm the owner of the Nets, I'm not paying that fine. It's more than the fine is 68,000. The moral cost, if this goes left, you cannot put a price tag on that.
Yeah. Well,
Your
people are
recap,
willing
sir.
to gamble, so why not gamble some more? Well, see, because you didn't. What was the first? Forgive me.
Jay-Z Meek, sir.
Okay, all right. Yeah, just stop self snitching, my people. It's not that deep. Like you said, you could have been everything that you said you were. You don't gotta necessarily say it on the song, my guy. Like I said, real G's moving silence, like lasagna. In terms of the pigs executing that man, I mean, it probably could have went out differently, but at this instance, they're gonna use the fear for my life. He had his hand in his pocket and he pulled and pointed something at him, so they were justified to 50 cent him. So there's that. Yeah, the heart transplant, like I said, I highly agree with you. With his certain circumstance, I would do it, even though there's drawbacks and he could still die. And like I said, there's underreported reports of people having out of nowhere heart problems and dying from them when they were perfectly healthy after taking a jab. But you take what you want with that information. You play a numbers game. It's a very small sample size compared to most people, so it is what it is. But in his condition, in his circumstance, he already has a heart problem, so that's a chance that could be wasted anyway. And you just wasted a heart for no reason. But that's just me. Shouldn't have forced him. That's not fucking fair. Basically choosing death or a chance of death. It's not fair. What was the last one? Kyrie,
of course.
I would do it. Not worried about it. We're taking a gamble anyway. And if all three are healthy, that is pretty much guaranteeing a title. 68,000 for a title when everyone in the stadium is vaccinated, except for one person. So that shouldn't deter or cause any harm to anyone. If you believe the vaccine does what it's supposed to do, then everybody wins, including the Nets, which is the whole point, to win at all costs. Isn't that what they say? All costs.
Well, on that note, we will wrap it up. Same bat time, same bad show next week. This was fun. I look forward to comments in the comment section, but on behalf of myself and my awesome co-host. Wow, co-host.
Country boy.
Never that. Never that. On behalf of
Yeah.
my awesome co-host, we will see you next week from Yeah, I Said It podcast. Peace.
Yow.